Okay, so disassociation is a word that we're going to use a lot, and it's very important that you understand what disassociation is. Disassociation is where you take some sort of ionic crystal, okay, so something that has anions and cations, or positive charged ions and negatively charged ions, and what happens is the water pulls it apart. So now what's happening is these ions are in solution, so they're no longer bonded together. So for example, when I put salt or NaCl in water, what ends up happening is it dissolves, but really what it's doing is it disassociates. So I'm going to have a bunch of sodium ions floating around and a bunch of calcium ions, or chlorine ions, not calcium, chlorine ions floating around. These things aren't bonded, so there isn't a sodium with a chlorine and then those are floating around. It's really they're independently floating around. So it's important to understand what disassociation is and how it's kind of different than dissolving. So something that dissolves would still have those bonds together. Like for instance, sugar dissolves, and the reason for that is because it's still a sugar molecule, okay? It's still a glucose molecule that's floating around. Disassociation is that breaking into ions.